Welcome back with another banger. It's the React Files. Hope you're having a good night. Let's get straight to it.
So here's breaking news. On August 8th, 2024, we're going to be jumping timelines. According to Project Looking Glass, which it's a secret government project. How the hell do we know about this? Damn it, man. We know about it from this guy right here who made the claim back in June. So if you're unfamiliar with what Project Looking Glass is, it's a secret government project which we somehow know about that uses quantum computing and advanced technology to look at other timelines, the future, and alter our timeline, or to force a timeline jump. And how would they do that? How could they force a timeline jump? Have you ever heard of collective consciousness? Because that's basically what it sums up to. Project Looking Glass discovered that if you get enough people that are thinking about and manifesting the same thing, you could alter the timeline. And TikTok, I'm just joking. This is all for shits and giggles, entertainment purposes only, and whatnot. The fall of the Soviet Union was thought to be the direct result of Project Looking Glass manifestation. And I can see everybody rolling their eyes. So how do you jump all of humanity into a different timeline? All you would need is a catastrophic event that would induce fear into the general public. When people are in a state of fear and confusion, they are less effective at manifesting their own desires, making the reality of today easier to manipulate by outside forces. They just need enough people to be afraid, to do what they want to do. And who's they? I have no idea. Obviously, how am I supposed to know this shit? This is a secret government project. How am I supposed to know this? I'm just a dude from Missouri with a cat that walks in the cemetery. But they sure did pick an interesting date to do this on August 8th, 2024. Because the coincidences that surround August 8th, 2024, it's just too much. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about the time traveler, Donald J. Trump. But that's for another video. Don't let them manipulate you this week. Be in control of your own consciousness. Fuck Project Looking Glass. Damn it, man. The other Donald Trump video is coming. I promise.
Shout outs to the Damn It Man talking about jumping timelines. I can see where he's coming from with the collective consciousness. Everybody thinking about the same thing, and obviously the key is to fear not. He also thinks that Trump is a time traveler as well. We've heard that before, but I'm trying to find out what's the significance of August 8th.
Right. Japan's economy is collapsing, forcing the US government to deploy these emergency measures in a desperate attempt to prevent a repeat of the Black Monday disaster. Black Monday was a worldwide crisis that took place in 1987 when trillions of dollars were wiped out in a single day as every major country experienced an unprecedented drop in their financial markets. The damage took years for the world to recover from, and the current situation in Japan looks alarmingly similar. The Japanese financial markets plunged by more than 12%, mirroring the 14% drop of Black Monday. This has once again resulted in a ripple effect throughout the global economy, wiping out trillions of dollars and causing every financial asset, from risky cryptocurrency to stable government bonds, to drastically drop in value. As a result of this flash crash, people are urging the United States government to call an emergency meeting so that the Federal Reserve can deploy desperate measures such as interest rate cuts and direct federal intervention to save the United States economy before it's too late.
Shout outs to Ding News Corp with that quick history lesson and how it relates to recent news. Well, now, that's crazy. Hasn't happened since 1987. Reagan was in office. I hope it bounces back fast.
Markets around the world are crashing today due to fears that a US recession is on the way. Japan just launched its worst two-day decline in their history. The Nikkei index dropping a staggering 18.2% since Friday. Taiwan's market had the worst single day on record as well. Crypto got absolutely smashed, wiping out nearly 300 billion from its total market cap in just 3 days. Bitcoin dropped about 30% from its all-time high, and Ethereum lost 20% of its value in just 2 hours. Trading platform Robinhood disabled 24-hour trading amid extreme volatility. In the US, the Magnificent Seven stocks erased nearly 500 billion overnight, and the US markets lost around 7 trillion in the past week. The world's most famous trader, Warren Buffett, sold almost half of his investment in Apple and 8.8% of his stake in Bank of America, which has now given Berkshire Hathaway a record cash position of $277 billion. I mean, to be fair, his most famous quote is, "Buy when there's blood in the streets, even if it's your own." But amid all of this chaos, one stock that has been doing great over the past 30 days is Lockheed Martin, which is one of the largest aerospace and defense manufacturers in the world. Interesting. So, why the hell is all of this happening? But before I say anything, just keep in mind the immense complexity of global markets. No short explanation will do this justice, but to put it very simply, the United States put out a weak jobs report, which then triggered one of the most well-known and historically accurate indicators of a recession, the SAM rule, which we will not go into detail on here. That then caused panic on Wall Street, and short-term investors like hedge funds sold in droves over the past few days. This huge sell-off pressure then seemingly spread fear around the world, because keep in mind, if the world's largest market goes into recession, that affects everyone. Just remember the crisis in 2008. But also, the Fed didn't cut rates like investors wanted. So yeah, not an ideal last couple of days. But hopefully, when things turn around, I'll keep you guys updated.
Shout out to Dylan Page, keeping us up to date with this crash. $300 billion worth of Bitcoin. That's a lot of money in a short period of time.
If you live on planet Earth, this is going to be a very important video for you to understand. This is the volatility index. This gauges how risky the economy is and how much of a potential there is for collapse. It's up 122% in the last day and a half. It's above levels we haven't seen since COVID. Right here, this is 2020 when we found out COVID was happening and the economy was going to be just completely shut down. Now it just spiked to 52. This is a massive indicator. This tells the world that we are on the brink of a collapse and the global economies are crashing right now. Japan's stock market's down 12%. Europe's is down massively. The futures market for the United States is down massively. And we go even further with this. This is the chart going back about 20 years. If you look, this was COVID. This is where we are today. This was the 2008 financial collapse. This was the housing market crash, that one that everybody talks about how horrible, the worst ever. It wasn't even that which was COVID and was right now. That tells you the brink of what's about to happen. Do you remember COVID? This is right up there above the COVID, but below the financial collapse of 2008. This was the tech bubble. This indicated all of these major things. So buckle up. It's about to get a little wild here in the United States and across the globe.
Shout out to JD Chambers. I think that's the creepiest part. It's not only happening here in America, it's happening all over the world.
Dean, I saw that the stock market crashed in Japan. Why is that affecting us so badly?
It's because of this thing called the carry trade. The Fed started increasing rates over a year ago. Japan had negative rates. So you look at starting from a year ago, you look at how weak the yen was. Japan had negative interest rates. You pay a bank money, you have to pay a bank money to hold your money, for example, right? Negative. And our rates were going up, right? So what that spread caused a demand for Japanese yen. It's called a carry trade. You borrow with yen at a super low interest rate, and you take all that money, and you can put it in fixed income and equities here that are giving you this big returns. It's kind of arbitrage. What happened was, I think that was happening. I've read a lot about, like, Buffett was doing that, and some people at that level were doing that. Institutions were doing that, but the magnitude it did was so big. And what happened was the BOJ, the Bank of Japan, just recently, last week, stopped doing that, stopped buying their bonds, right? So their rates went up. And if you look at the US dollar against the yen tanked. So all these people had short positions over there, borrowing on yen and using the money here, had to cover their trades. So, and that coupled with, the concerns about earnings, about growth over here, everything just hit at one time. Everyone had to dump their equities here, dump the tech stocks here out, and all that, and cover their positions in Japan, because the yen the US dollar was tanking against the yen, right? So that all in all has caused a crash. If you look at what happened last night, this morning was like all the Asian markets crashed because of that unwinding of all those positions, all the buybacks, all the short coverings and stuff like that, right? And that pulled all the liquidity out of this market on Friday and this morning and tanked us here. There was a big gap to cover over there. Wow. So it's called the carry trade covering. And the magnitude of it was so high, it's affected us and it's affected the rest of the world in Asia. Wow. In a big way. Everyone is tanking right now. Wow. Yeah, so that's what's happening. And that coupled with the fact that we're concerned about rates being overcooked, being held too high, about GDP concerns, unemployment concerns, that and this all happens at one time. You got this kaboom. That's it.
watching.
Shout outs to Alexis and Dean giving us the heads up on what's going on. What happened in the Asian markets sounds like what was going to happen to GameStop a few months back. But this actually happened. Shout outs to Asia. Prayers are with you guys.
Warren Buffett took out $277 billion in cash out of the stock market right before he just lost $15 billion today with this crazy ass crash, and it has me thinking of Max Azzarello. Warren Buffett took that $277 billion out of the stock market on June 3rd. Here we are, August 5th, and he just lost $15 billion from this crash that has hit Europe, Asia, over fears of the US literally going into a recession. It all points at Warren Buffett knew exactly what was going on, but I am thinking about Max Azzarello, the person who tried to warn us many months ago when he self-immolated himself outside of the Trump trial. Specifically, the manifesto that Max Azzarello left that was extremely detailed, that insinuated and also alleged that the U.S. stock market was a part of a huge Ponzi scheme that would cause the U.S. government and the U.S. people a lot of problems down the line. This is a major culprit and Ponzi scheme that Max Azzarello said would be responsible for this bubble that would pop in the stock market and cause a global recession. Now, this happened back in April where Max called major attention to what he believed would be a serious problem for the people and even died over it by his own hand. Now, here is one of the pages out of his manifesto as it relates to what he was saying about cryptocurrency. Max Azzarello alleged that it was expressly created for this purpose by a laundry list of rich and powerful people on and out of Stanford/Silicon Valley, Harvard, and Facebook. He said that when this Ponzi scheme goes insolvent, it will take down half the stock market with it, and that the perpetrators use their major companies to pipe into the blockchain. They could funnel money out from the crypto exchanges. This includes Google, Tesla, Apple, PayPal, Facebook, Disney, Walmart, Target, InBev, Zoom, and countless others. He said that it was so large that it would cause global inflation, which is why the price of Bitcoin has been a remarkable leading indicator for the inflation rate. As people who bought crypto don't realize their money has already been stolen, so the money gets double counted by the victims and the criminals who stole it. It turns out that our elites are awash in Ponzi schemes. Notice how he said Apple had a part in it, Google and Facebook and many others. Warren Buffett dumped tons of Apple stock before cashing out his $277 billion in the stock market. He slashed his stakes in Apple and Bank of America and sold it at 34 million shares for $1.48 billion just in July. And guess who is on trial right now? Good old fucking Google. They're alleging that Google has price gouged people out of their information when it comes to being a search engine, but that's not it. Max told us this in April, and now here we are with all this shit going on. I am gonna finish reading his manifesto. It's also on my YouTube where I went over it months ago.
Shout outs to Aja Bay. Go like and follow for the full video. Get the update. She's stating all the facts. That man cashed out. You never want to hear the word insolvency.
The fight to be used against violence individuals. If you do not stop, impact rights will be.
Some quarters. Sorry, guys. Boys.
Have y'all seen the shit going on in the UK? This is fucking crazy, guys. So this is the story that I got that pretty much ignited this whole shit fire that's going on over there. 3 children were brutally by a migrant, and the police did nothing. So half of the country erupted into mass riots. The migrants are also throwing acid and hitting people with hammers. In counter-protest, the police are overwhelmed. Now, this first video I'm about to show y'all is the counter-protesters brandishing their weapons in public and celebrating in the streets. Look at this. And here's a video of the counter-protesters moving through the streets. And the crazy part is I haven't seen anything about the counter-protesters getting any kind of punishment. It's the local citizens that are fighting back that are getting arrested and pretty much getting punished. And what's the new estimate of migrants in this country since Biden and Harris took over? 20 million? And I want to remind everyone, the reason this isn't happening in America right now is because of the Second Amendment, and we have somewhat of a police force left. And I'm going to show y'all another clip that is why these things are crucial to the survival of the citizens of this country. I'm fixing to show you a video of the police force being so overwhelmed over in the UK that they are bowing to these counter-protesters.
All taken a knee. Every single one of them has taken a knee.
And I want to remind everyone, there was warnings about this shit happening. Let me show you a video clip from 2017.
There will come a day that we will see far more radical extremists and terrorists coming out of Europe because of lack of decision making, trying to be politically correct, or assuming that they know the Middle East and they know Islam and they know the others far better than we do. And I'm sorry, but that's pure ignorance.
You guys better wake up and gear up.
Shout outs to Mikey Mike Official. I agree, the UK is on fire right now. I've never seen anything like that. Police bowing down? We living in a crazy time.
I wasn't going to make a video about this because it's been circulating enough, but then I thought about it, and no, I am. I'm fucking pissed. It's my duty to scream it louder for the people in the back and to let people know who maybe didn't catch it. But did you see the receipt that was circulating around from the Venezuelan woman who left her receipt at the grocery store? If you didn't know, when you get an EBT card or state government assistance and you pay with it, it leaves the balance on the receipt so you know how much money you have for the next time. Most Americans probably see $100, maybe $300. No, this fucking bitch had almost $5,000 worth of cash and $13,000 of fucking grocery money. And here we are, Americans struggling to fucking pay our bills just to eat and live day to day. And we got people from other countries who haven't paid a dime into this country who are getting 13 grand in groceries. If that doesn't make you mad, I don't know, then you are fucking deranged. Because all those people that decided, oh, I'm going to vote blue no matter who, I can guarantee you, you're struggling to pay your bills too. And if you think your life sucks now, give it 4 more years. You better reevaluate yourselves and vote the correct way. Because I am so fucking sick of this shit. And for those that don't know how to equate, yeah, they're buying votes. That's why they're giving them that money.
Shout outs to Christina G dropping bombs. Yeah, she's totally right. That balance do be on the receipt after you use that card. I totally feel it. Plenty of people are pissed. Me, myself, I find it very hard to believe they throwing out that kind of dough.
I'm so happy you all came out to see me. So, my name is Michaela Montgomery. A lot of you guys know me as the girl from Chick-fil-A, but I am so much more than that. Not only do I serve as the CEO of Conserve the Culture, I am also the state director for Blexit down here in Georgia. I'm a Fulton County coordinator for America First Works, and I'm also launching a podcast on the Patriots Prayer Network, so put some respect on my name. Now, why don't we jump right into it? See, as a young single mother, I can tell y'all that rent is too damn high. I can tell you that as a young black voter, groceries are too damn high. And as an American citizen, period, seniors like my parents should never have to choose between medicine or food. It should never be the quality of life versus the quantity of life. And I don't want to hear, oh, but we capped the price of insulin and lowered the price of all these medicines. Yeah, but you raised the price of everything else, so it's about time to start telling the truth to Americans and let them know exactly what they're signing up for if they want to vote for Kamala Harris. We need to vote based on facts and not feelings. See, under Harris and Biden, the average Georgia household is losing $1,060 per month, and inflation is at 21.4%. And due to the war on energy, average gas prices have reached record highs for the state. We also did a poll, and 80% of us black Americans are not happy with the current state of the economy, so I'm going to need 80% of y'all to vote accordingly in November. They love me, they love me, they really love me. The left wants you to get in your feelings about things that have been said, but I want you guys to pay attention to what has been done. They don't want to talk policy. They just want to use propaganda to steal your vote. The left is trying to tout this woman as a savior for the black community, but all she's done is hurt the black community since she came into the game. See, the first step in destroying the black community is to dismantle the black family. So aside from her record as a prosecutor, why don't we ask Mrs. Willie Brown if Kamala Harris cares about black families? I wonder if Mrs. Willie Brown, a black woman, is also with her. A few days ago, President Trump said he didn't know Vice President Harris was a black woman. I'm trying to figure out what all the outrage is about because she's only black when it's time to get elected. Did I lie? The same black people who are mad at Trump for being confused about her race, ethnicity, nationality, whatever, are seemingly forgetting that while you're touting her as a savior for black people, she identifies as an Asian woman. She chose her side and it wasn't ours. When asked if she would ever do anything specifically for black people, she said no. Whereas Trump gave us the Platinum Plan, which specifically uplifted the black community by increasing capital by almost $500 billion, creating 500,000 new black businesses, and would give black churches the ability to fight for federal resources for their communities. And why are we acting like strong borders aren't a thing literally everywhere else in the world? Since when has being patriotic been a crime?
Great question. Shout out to Michaela Montgomery, laying the facts in front of all those people, making a name for herself. That's what's up. And that's what you call a strong black woman, if you ask me. Strong in her beliefs and ain't afraid who to tell it to. Don't care who's listening. Don't care who's around. If you ask me, a star was just born.
4,000 Marines are headed to the Middle East.
Why?
Hamas's military leader was unalive, and now Iran's gonna attack Israel, and we need to help!
When is it gonna stop?
When we get there, stupid! America has to stop it again!
This war, aren't they fighting over race?
I believe one side doesn't want one side to exist anymore. So instead of an agreement, they're just fighting a war so someone doesn't exist anymore.
But does that mean we should offer our innocent Marine Corps lives?
Yeah! You act like we have a housing crisis in America and everyone's becoming homeless. We need to help other countries before we help ourselves.
Why are we sending all of our money to these other countries all the time for somebody else's war?
You mean like in Ukraine? What about everybody else?
My heart goes out to anybody that loses their life over a stupid
But innocent people are losing their lives over political leaders' disagreements.
So you shouldn't add additional bodies on top of bodies for no reason.
There's no other choice. 30-year-olds are living with their parents. Billionaires are paying nothing in taxes. But trust me, this is our number one priority.
I think there's a saying that if you see two people fighting, if you try to help out or stop the fight, you might get stabbed.
Doesn't matter. If America gets dragged into the war, then so be it.
I just don't think we should be sending Marines over there.
Bruh, you're not even in the military. Let the Marines handle this one.
I'm a Marine.
We gonna lose. If the Marines are like you, we gonna lose. We about to lose. What happened to our military?
Send our politicians since they want to go to war so bad. How about that?
It's too late. Give your hearts to the cause. America's a universe. superhero!
Shout outs to advice from Lewis Reloaded with the quick sketch. The man's a real Marine with a strong point of view. Shout outs to all who serve this country, to all the Marines, to everyone that's deployed in the Middle East, to all the homeless, to all citizens. Peace and blessings.
When I met you in Doral,
right?
I spoke to Don Jr. a little bit. He said, "Man, I feel for the young generation. You guys are look at this. Like, look what's going on here. Like, it's like you need these next 4 years. If not, He's like, I don't know how well the country's going to do after these 4 years.
I don't think it survives. I really don't.
Damn.
Look, we're going to have 20 million people in by the time this election takes place. 20 million people. That's.
I'll tell you about TikTok. Trump is going to keep TikTok going, whereas Biden and Harris, they have no idea what it means. And all it's going to do is be good for China the other way. It's no good. We're going to save TikTok. They want to destroy TikTok. So all of the people on TikTok, vote for Trump.
Vote for Trump.
Hey, you heard the man. If you want TikTok, vote for Trump. What a collabo. We got Trump and Aiden Ross before GTA 6.
We have a big decision coming up in November. You guys got to really go out there and vote for the right person, which is him.
Wow, that's what the move.
Do a little alley-oop there.
You know, it's funny that you do, but now I know why you're so popular, because I've been on for years with people that really do like me, and they're even fair to me and everything else, but they wouldn't do what you just, they wouldn't say, vote for him. You know, they do, they're short of that. They wouldn't do it. They vote for me, but they wouldn't say it. I think it's great that you can say something like that. I think it's ethical, it's fair, it's smart. And if you felt that way about somebody else, that's okay too.
And that's a wrap. Hope you enjoyed tonight's rabbit hole. If you haven't already, please take a second
just to smash that like, subscribe, ring that notification bell,
just to make sure the algorithm knows what's up. So what we gonna do, y'all? That's right. Run these numbers up. Thanks again. Until next time.